Knicks fans, a new, intriguing development is occurring. The emergence of Jalen Brunson and Isaiah Hartenstein as a formidable pick-and-roll combination has injected new life into the franchise, providing another lever into the offensive playbook for Coach Tom Thibodeau and the Knicks. As the Knicks continue to navigate the challenges of the modern NBA, the budding chemistry between these two players has become a beacon of light, guiding the team towards a brighter future. The rise of Brunson and Hartenstein. When the Knicks signed Jalen Brunson and Isaiah Hartenstein as free agents nearly 2 years ago, few could have predicted the impact they would have on the team. Brunson, a skilled point guard with a knack for creating his own shot, had shown flashes of brilliance during his time with the Dallas Mavericks. Hartenstein, a versatile big man with a high basketball IQ, had bounced around the league, never quite finding his footing. But together, they have formed a duo that has taken the NBA by storm. In a recent matchup against the Denver Nuggets, one of the best teams in the league, Brunson and Hartenstein showcased the full extent of their powers. Brunson, facing increased defensive pressure, relied on his off-ball movement to create opportunities for his teammates. Hartenstein, ever the willing recipient, finished the game with a career-high 20 points, with 4 of Brunson's 9 assists going directly to him. But their impact goes beyond the box score. The two-man game between Brunson and Hartenstein has become a thing of beauty, with each player seamlessly anticipating the other's movements. Whether it's Hartenstein setting a screen for Brunson to create space for a jumper, or Brunson finding Hartenstein on the short roll for an easy bucket, their chemistry is undeniable. The versatility of their partnership is what sets them apart. Hartenstein has become a crucial outlet for Brunson when defenses trap him, keeping possessions alive and allowing the Knicks to find the open man. But Hartenstein is more than just a safety valve. He has also shown the ability to create for others, delivering passes to Brunson that harken back to his days playing alongside Luka Doncic in Dallas. As the Knicks continue to integrate their injured players back into the lineup, it will be crucial for them to maintain the chemistry that Brunson and Hartenstein have built. Their two-man game has become a new wrinkle in the Knicks' offense, one that could prove invaluable in the playoffs when defenses tighten up and every possession matters. Before we move on, we know you wouldn't want to miss out on more exclusive content like this. So, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel to stay updated with all the latest in the world of the Knicks. Let's continue. The Deuce Emergence. While Brunson and Hartenstein have been lighting up the league, another Knicks guard has been quietly making a name for himself. Miles Deuce McBride, a third-year player out of West Virginia, has shown significant improvement this season, particularly in terms of his efficiency. His development has led some to wonder whether he could be a top 100 talent in the league. The answer, as with most things in the NBA, is not quite so simple. While McBride has certainly taken strides forward this season, his ceiling as a player will largely depend on his ability to become a reliable pick-and-roll point guard. When Brunson is off the floor, the Knicks' offense has struggled with McBride at the helm. For him to truly cement his place in the rotation, he will need to learn how to keep the offense afloat without relying on Brunson's creation. This is no easy task, of course. The NBA is a league that is increasingly dominated by high-level point guard play, and the Knicks are no exception. But if McBride can continue to develop his game, particularly in terms of his decision-making and his ability to create for others, he could become a valuable piece in the Knicks puzzle. The OG Anunoby Question. As the offseason looms on the horizon, the Knicks will be faced with a number of difficult decisions. Perhaps none is more pressing than the question of what the contract negotiations will be like for OG Anunoby, the talented forward who has become a key cog in the Knicks machine. Anunoby has a player option for next season, and if he decides to opt out, he will become an unrestricted free agent. The Knicks will then have to decide whether to offer him a contract extension, try to sign him to a new deal, or let him walk. The decision is complicated by a number of factors, not least of which is Anunoby's recent elbow injury. While the Knicks have insisted that the injury is not serious, there is always a risk when a player is dealing with a physical issue. The Knicks will need to weigh that risk against Anunoby's undeniable impact on the court, as well as the long-term financial implications of any deal they might offer him. If Anunoby does decide to opt out, the Knicks will have a few options. They could try to sign him to a 4-year extension, which would keep him in New York for the foreseeable future. They could also try to sign him to a max deal, which would be a significant investment but one that could pay off in the long run if Anunoby continues to develop into a star. Alternatively, the Knicks could let Anunoby test the waters of free agency, with the hope that they could re-sign him at a more reasonable price. This is a risky proposition, of course, as there are always teams willing to overpay for a player of Anunoby's caliber, but if the Knicks are confident in their ability to retain him, it could be a gamble worth taking. Regardless of what they decide, the Knicks will need to be mindful of how any deal they offer Anunoby might impact their ability to retain other key players, such as Mitchell Robinson and Precious. The center position has been a strength for the Knicks this season, with Robinson and Isaiah Hartenstein forming a formidable duo. But with both players set to hit free agency in the coming years, the Knicks will need to be careful not to overextend themselves financially. The Knicks' playoff rotation. As the regular season winds down, the Knicks find themselves in the thick of the playoff race. With a talented roster and a coach in Tom Thibodeau who knows how to get the most out of his players, the Knicks have the potential to make some noise in the postseason. But to do so, they will need to be firing on all cylinders. The return of Julius Randle, who has been out with a shoulder injury, will be crucial. Randle is a 2-time All-NBA player who has the ability to take over games with his scoring and playmaking. If he can return to form, the Knicks will be a tough out for any team in the playoffs. The Knicks will also need to figure out their rotations, particularly in crunch time. Will they close games with Josh Hart, the gritty veteran who has been a revelation since joining the team? Or will they turn to Donte DiVincenzo, the young guard who has shown flashes of brilliance but is still finding his way in the league? The answer may depend on matchups and the flow of the game, but it is a decision that could have significant implications for the Knicks' success. Looking ahead. As the Knicks look to the future, they will need to be mindful of the changing landscape of the NBA. With teams like the Atlanta Hawks and Minnesota Timberwolves potentially looking to shake things up in the offseason, the Knicks will need to be ready to pounce on any opportunities that arise. They will also need to be strategic in the draft, targeting players who fit their system and can contribute right away. With a glut of guards and centers on the roster, the Knicks may look to add a versatile wing who can defend multiple positions and knock down open shots. But perhaps most importantly, the Knicks will need to continue to build on the foundation they have laid this season. The emergence of Jalen Brunson and Isaiah Hartenstein as a dynamic pick-and-roll duo. The development of young players like Miles McBride and Precious, and the potential for a healthy Julius Randle to take the team to new heights. These are all reasons for optimism in New York. If the Knicks can continue to play with the grit and determination that have defined their season thus far, if they can make the right moves in the offseason and stay healthy, there is no reason to believe they cannot compete with the best teams in the league. The future is bright in New York, and with a little bit of luck and a lot of hard work, the Knicks may just find themselves back on top of the basketball world sooner rather than later.